record on the computer. There we go. Good.
Excellent. Hey, well, I've got my my shoes in the background.
Yeah.
I've actually got quite a good little setup now.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So
yeah. You books and stuff?
Yeah, got books. I'll do a quick pan.
Oh yeah. Oh, and you Queenslander.
Yep.
Yeah.
So oh no.
people won't know what that is if they're from overseas, but it's a very important very important footy game.
Exactly.
But because I'm English, footy is something else. So yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Good. That's good, man.
Yeah.
And then
you got a haircut as well. How'd you manage that?
Yeah, that's why the camera's here, not over there.
Okay. A bit of a hack job, was it?
Did a bit of damage. I tried the old. So I've been using the clippers for quite a while. So this is like the third haircut I've had. But this time I thought, short back and sides wasn't enough. I needed to actually have a go at the top, and I'm regretting that. I'm regretting that quite badly. So I figure maybe it's about time that I just buzz cut the whole lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I go the full razor job, but I think the time has come. These side bits are good, nice and comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
that might be the right length then for you.
Yeah, something like that all over. But man, I've been wearing a hat a lot, just bimbling around the house and, out in and out the garden.
Yeah, okay.
And, I don't know. I feel like an old geezer, really. Need a flat cap rather than
I've got a couple of those. So.
I've got my... Oh, yeah, but there would be a cool Kangol one.
No.
Wearing that one. This is one of Chris's ones.
Yeah, geez.
And,
that thing used to be black.
It was, yeah. But then I used to wear it when I used to go training in the park, I don't know, it just faded or something.
Mm-hmm.
Showed it to Chris, and he reckoned put it in the dishwasher in the washing machine. Yeah, but I haven't done that yet. So, yeah, we'll see. I think it would get destroyed if you put it in the washing machine. Because there's only cardboard inside, isn't it? Right?
I think they're like a plastic. I'm pretty sure they're a plastic. If they were a cardboard, they'd already be gone.
Yeah, maybe the elastic's definitely gone from around the inside. It's a bit floppy, but it's comfortable. Okay. It's like my hat. So anyway, all right, cool. We're supposed to be talking about Google doing things, aren't we? They've given away tons of money. How much money are they giving it? $340 million.
Yeah, giving it away. That's I mean, I imagine that they're realizing that they're in just as bad of a spot. Well, they're not making the profits that they would have been.
Yeah.
I do reckon that they've had this. So, as a sort of intro to the free Google shopping stuff.
Yeah.
I do reckon that they've had this in the works for a little while.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It just seems too convenient.
Are they using it to grab more data? I watched a really interesting video yesterday about surveillance capitalism.
Yep. And
the idea that, like we are the product, and really, I don't know actually, but Niantic Labs, Pokemon Go, it was all Google. Like Google were the ones behind the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And they just released it under this little brand because, people would be suspicious of it being Google knowing all of their GPS locations, and, then the Pokemon appear in a certain location and then everybody goes there and buys stuff, and, the money.
Yeah, right.
The money behind it. And I just thought, wow, that's really interesting. Like Facebook, we are the product. Like we are being harvested and understood, and, they know when that woman was pregnant when she changed her shampoo, and then her dad was getting, baby product adverts from Target or something. That was years ago that happened, but yeah.
Well, it's funny. There's that that thing going around Facebook at the moment where it's you know, Facebook sneaky. They're tracking all of your all of the websites you visit off when you're offline.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah. How do you think they preempt what you're looking at, and what you're going to want to buy?
The more websites put the pixel there, the more reach they have, the more their system is like the tentacles out. I can do that into the camera.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right. And you know, the amount of times that I've gone to write, you know, explain to them.
Yep.
That's pretty funny. I mean, the amount of times that I've gone to explain to friends, you know, that are posting this, and they're like, "Oh, I've turned it off," and I'm like, "Well, good luck getting personalized ads now."
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're not going to get those ads anymore, and you're not going to benefit from getting something that. I mean, I completely sound like a corporate shill, and that's why I've not.
It's a two-way street, but the thing is, actually, in that video, I should try and find that. That would be in my personal history. I watched this thing, and it was, they had a guy, an Amish guy, who had a mobile phone and a computer. And they were like, "Yeah, show us your computer." And he's like, "Yeah, look at this. We can do word processing and spreadsheets and nothing else." And they're like, "Yeah, can you get on the internet?" No. This was built from the ground up to be a computer for me, not like torn down from, you know, what you guys have. And his mobile phone doesn't do any texting, nothing. It just makes calls, and that's it. And he just uses that to run his business. And you just think, wow, you know, like, I mean, I'm guessing he's like a new age kind of Amish, but that's really, really interesting that his philosophy, and like the whole Amish community, the whole philosophy of it is, whatever the technology is, it should be for us to use, not for it to use us. And I think that's the problem we've got now with maybe some of the tech that's particularly coming out of Facebook and Google, is that the tech is there to kind of use us and productize us into, you know, a thing that somebody can benefit from by data mining. And, you know, you're right. I would rather see adverts of fishing gear and camping stuff than I would, you know, high heels. So of course, you know, I'm quite happy for them to profile me as a white dude who likes to camp. That's okay. But if they go right to town and sort of say, well, okay, but, you know, he doesn't like Trump, or he loves Trump, or whatever, and then let's sway his opinion by showing him these things. That was like that Cambridge Analytica thing, you know. It's a bit freaky. So I can see where people are afraid of it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not that, you know, I wouldn't say you have to feel like a corporate shill, but, you know, you're right to say there are benefits. And it's a spectrum between, on the one end, you know, there's manipulation and covert warping of people's opinions and feelings. Yeah. And on the other end, there's something, you know, quite useful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the other thing that's popped up as well is the COVID tracking app.
Yep. Ooh, I don't know if I want to talk about this on a company thing. Are you there? Are you there, Sam? I think I've lost you. Did my internet go, or did yours? This is Australia, so it could have been anybody's. Yes, no? Are you there, mate? Hello, Sam.
Hey, mate. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. So
sounds spooky. Sounds a bit dodgy. I was talking about a let's call it a ovide tracking app.
Yeah. As soon as you mentioned that,
yeah, it dropped out. Yeah,
boom,
interesting.
we're done. Yeah.
So yeah. So, but the argument is that Facebook and Google are tracking you, and they're doing. You've given them more than anyone else. Yeah, that's fine, but I'm not. It's not. I think it was the best. One of the most poetic things I've said, which was, they represent greed, whereas the government represents all the other deadly sins. Yeah,
and greed.
And exactly. Yeah, sorry, and greed. Yeah, greed and the deadly sins. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like
I think for me, it's actually about competence.
Yeah.
I can sort of justify, and I did delete the Facebook app for quite a while. I didn't have it on my phone, and I've been very tempered in what I install. When people were making claims about Didi, I I looked into it and I removed that off the phone as well.
Yeah, same with that, and TikTok as well.
Well, I've not heard that one's really that bad, but okay, I could totally believe it. The thing I'm sort of worried about is that the level of competence from the government's people is something in business I've hit that before. So I just sort of, I have reservations about the government's ability to make an app that isn't completely full of holes. And for that reason alone, I'm going to be hesitant to install it. Like, if there's a very good reason to, aside from like shaming tactics, and this is actually another reason that really pisses me off, but it's the idea that, you're like an anti-vaxxer if you don't install this app. Well, not really. I'm just aware that, when I've dealt with people in government before, I've had some very bad experiences because I've wanted to work at a very high level of professionalism, and my questions to them are about, hey, can we do this to a high professional standard? And their response is basically, no, we can't, and we're not going to work with you because we don't want you exposing our lack of professionalism. And
Well, the other thing I know about it is that they've all got budgets that are so restrictive, because they're looking for the cheapest, and that the cheapest, when you're looking at something that has the data in regards to where you're walking, who you're meeting up with. Yep. I don't want that in the hands of, for me, it is a civil libertarian issue.
Yeah.
And it's, people say it's the old, if you're not doing anything wrong, well, what's to say what I'm doing today isn't going to be considered wrong tomorrow?
Yeah. How dare you mention the word COVID?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Watch, it'll disconnect again
now. You got to say COVID and tracking app in the same sentence.
Yeah. Now that you've said app, now it's going to come off.
Yeah. But yeah, I suppose sort of dovetail back into Google and what they're doing to, I suppose, make the current market work better.
Yeah,
they're now, giving away the Google shopping. So they're basically saying,
that is the topic of this video, right? We should be talking about that.
Yeah, we're a bit further in, but yeah. So basically April 21. The president of Commerce, Bill Redact, came out and said that they'll be putting forth that Google Shopping you'll now have free listings similar to your organic listings, I imagine.
Yep.
And they'll be assisting people to get on the Google Shopping tab. Now, there could be a number of reasons for this.
But you said it was they've got to have some data layer. Is that right? Is it part of Schema.org or is it some other?
No. So if you've already got Google Merchant Center and if you're already running Google shopping ads, then it will literally
Just flip over. Yeah.
Just flip over. And so not only will you have your paid, I don't know what it's going to look like. Nobody knows what it's going to look like, in fact, other than Google, of course.
Probably not them either, really, because they'll just A/B test the living, or multivariate test the living daylights out of it.
Yeah.
So they'll come up with some ideas and then test and test.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, the reality is end of they reckon that it will have taken effect before the end of April, which has already gone, and they're looking to expand it globally before the end of the year. So we, I think India is the second rollout, from what I understand.
Okay.
But I haven't seen that in any official things. My sort of takeaway from it is that you get on to creating a Google Merchant Center ASAP. But the Merchant Center will start having more data coming through it. So if you've been on your Google Merchant Center recently, you'll know that it's changed in appearance quite a bit, and there's quite a bit more data available in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but yeah.
And it just there's also I think a few more levels of sort of security around it.
Okay.
When I was setting up,
surely it's going to be tiered, right? Because you'd have to have a set up where Google can prioritize people who are paying more, right?
Well, that's why I say I think it will be.
I don't know what it's going to look like. Yeah,
I think it'll be sort of an organic listing style thing, but I'd like to. I'm really keen to find out what it looks like.
Yeah. My camera does that every so often because.
Okay, well, it's tracking your face now.
Still waiting on the thing. Yeah, it's all right. I'll. There, it's all fixed. It's one of those things.
Yeah, okay.
I've had a hell of a time with it because my camera's a little bit old. It's a good SLR, but it's just old and it doesn't play nice with all this new kit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So basically, if you're an existing user, I'm just reading straight off the.
Yeah.
If you're an existing user, you've already opted into the surfaces, which is all the Google programs.
Yep.
And you might already be eligible to show your products. No further steps are necessary. To opt in, select growth and then manage programs in the navigation menu and select the surfaces across Google Program Card. So all of this. So for new users of Merchant Center, so you don't actually require a Google Ads account, which is, I suppose, good for people who aren't looking to pay. My recommendation will always be have that Google Ads account because, as you said before, Ben, it's highly likely that they're going to prioritize those with a paid account.
It'd be just like the grant thing, wouldn't it? I mean, just the way that the grant thing works is everybody gets all this free stuff, but really you're being trained to get it working so that they can sell you a package, right?
Yeah, and mine the data, I suppose, again, exactly what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
So they're packaging businesses, they're packaging the e-commerce businesses. Actually, I didn't think of it like that, and that's exactly what they're doing. They've obviously thought about it from a perspective of, well,
it's the most valuable traffic, right? E-commerce traffic is the most valuable traffic.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose it to Amazon.
That's very true.
So maybe this is their fight back against Amazon, you know?
So how does Amazon like put their stuff on Google? Does that?
Well, their SEO and the user experience, people go looking for the product, and then, you know, Amazon's such a strong website because so many people link to it and, you know, use it and enjoy it. Amazon ranks pretty well in Google. And, you know, I mean, if you do a search for a particular product, just trying to think, what could you search for? Fishing rod. Yeah. Where can we go? Here we go. This one. Google with O's. Fishing rod or kid. Yeah, okay, you get your ads, BCF, all the big Aussie brands. Kathmandu, Amazon.
So they'd have their own Google Ads account as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, not here in Australia.
No, they'd just be thrashing it.
Yeah. Is it Australian? Yeah, that's all Australian. BCF, Kogan, BCF. Yeah, look at all that. So if this is all going to be partly free, then you think maybe this second layer would end up being a free bit?
Yeah, mate. That's something that I did query was,
sort of
is that going to be paid? And then clicking on go to the shopping tab, is that going to be free or?
And I mean, it's probably the same as the ads, right? So that these first ones will be all the people who are paying, and then everybody from a certain point onwards, they're going to be all the free ones. So they just have tons of listings. Here it just happens that there are loads of advertisers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering if this page is going to be the, the free, and they're going to have the paid up the top. That's what I was thinking. Because if they go to this page, I would say that this is more likely to have the free stuff than the front page of Google.
Yep. Beach fishing rod. Yeah, look, we're in the merchant section.
And the other thing I suppose it's really good for, and I had to think about it, was, for example, let's just say we had a furniture company, and our dining tables were doing really well, right? But maybe the cost per acquisition for our coffee tables wasn't as good.
Yep.
So you'd be able to say, all right, well, I'm not going to keep spending money where it's not making the money. I want to put it all on the dining tables. Whereas before you might have to reduce your exposure on it through pausing it completely, or you, particularly in say a smart campaign, or you'd be in a normal shopping campaign, reducing your
witty elegance. Yeah, that's cool.
but reducing, your
so you're talking
cost.
about, so you, just to simplify it, so you're basically talking about if you're Castlery, then what you might want to do is just bid on the 5 or 6 products you make really good margin on.
Correct.
and then watch the other products all get listed anyway, just at a lower level, just like
Correct.
this with the ads and the SEO.
Correct. Yep.
Well, except the SEO is a bit more than this, but yeah.
But who's to say that there isn't going to be, SEO around
SEO value? Yeah, okay.
SEO value around.
I'd not thought about that. Yeah, cool. Okay,
So
I would think it would come back to a lot of this. So, how do you get it if you don't? So the product schema in schema.org
own up sign up to a Merchant Center account.
Yeah. Merchant Center,
and
they don't even need the
opt into the surfaces. That's part of the sign up process for the Merchant Center.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then do you have to install some stuff in your website?
It would be you learn more about adding your feed.
Yeah, you got to have a feed then
from your website.
Yeah.
Product data it's just like it would. I would assume it is. It is just like, and that would be where your optimization is going to have to come in. This is going to be pretty good work for web devs.
Yeah, getting this organized, and if there isn't one already, I would expect there to be a WordPress plugin pretty quick. We'll do a lot of this stuff for WooCommerce.
I'll be honest with you, Ben. I don't think there is. The amount of
I wouldn't be surprised if it's based on this though, the product.
Yeah, very likely.
Because this Schema.org was a joint venture between Google, Yahoo, and Yandex.
Well, my recommendation for all of it would be to be as to get in as many of the, because Google actually has a list of the requirements, but then they say, there's a minimum and then there's a maximum. Everyone does a minimum, but the reality is the more you put in, the better off you're going to be. And a good example of this is doing the Google shopping campaigns. When I have numerous sort of custom IDs and that kind of thing, custom labels, the better off it is for me, because a custom label for a particular product means that I can really delve into what is actually working and what isn't. Yeah. So the more I can drill down into which things are actually working, the better off it is for me.
Yeah, good. All right. Crikey.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I think you've nailed something there. In that there is a market, or there will be a market, for sort of on-site optimization in inverted commas, and feed optimization for this new new free Google Shopping.
So their data feed wouldn't be bringing stuff across just willy-nilly, would it? It'd be here in the site.
Correct.
Yeah, here you go. There's the schema.org. So they're following schema.org, JSON LD.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep.
That looks good.
And from what I understand, there's some of it gets really in depth.
Yep.
And some of it not so in depth.
Interesting. They're actually ENUS. So they're operating in multiple countries, this one.
Yeah, okay. Is that Singapore?
Yeah.
Just acted like I knew what I was looking at.
Yeah, look, there's a co-version of the same site.
Ah, okay.
So it's a multi-domain website. That's cool. All right, that's totally aside. The important thing I'm trying to highlight here is that
it's Schema.
It's got schema.org content.
Yep.
In LD-JSON format, which people would need a bit of a technical person to kind of help out with something like that.
Yep.
And yeah, that would end up becoming part of your Merchant Center configuration and setup.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, nice. All right. We should keep an eye out, see if there's a WordPress plugin that does that. Because we've got a few clients who've got WooCommerce sites that would need that. And if there's not, we'll have to find out who could develop something.
Yeah.
I guess I'm sure there'd be a few people working on it. So maybe I'll ask around in the community.
Yeah, I'd recommend that. Just because, you know, what I've found over the last several years that I've been working with product listing ads is that a lot of web developers don't really like, they want to do the minimum and get it out.
Yeah.
And that's
actually, I think that's from the few clients we've had doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's very much client driven, because if a web developer says, hey, you know, this could be like 3 days of work. Oh, no, I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on getting that done.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, how much have you got? Oh, you know, give you a half day. Well, okay, let's crack it out quick as you can.
Yeah.
And when you think about, I know you're thinking of Neto, and you think about them, the same thing, right? Those guys are being given mileage and investment to build the tech and build it going forward. If there's an individual client who has a particular problem, you know, that doesn't scale. So the support budget is got to be limited, you know, an hour, a couple of hours, whatever. And I, you know, I've got my own issues with the way they operate, but, you know, or the more not so much the operate, but the product. But I think given what it is, if they could cycle that back, if they could have somebody in that support role turn around and say, yeah, we should actually turn this into a feature and build our own really good merchant feed that's like idiot proof. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be really awesome. That'd actually put their clients up head and shoulders above, you know, people with WooCommerce who are having to install one at a time. You know, yeah, maybe we should put that on a list. Kind of look at what Neto and Shopify and that sort of thing are doing, because you know, this is an opportunity for, you know, e-commerce platforms to try and get ahead, even if it's just temporary. You know, make the clients busier just for a few weeks. Some nice smiles out of that. Cool. All right. So what's the top recommendation? The summary.
Top recommendation, go to merchants.google.com, sign up and choose to be a part of the Surfaces program. And once you do that, you will be...
Do you want to share that? No.
Yeah, don't share that. It probably wouldn't have had that much anyway. But yeah, so go to merchants.google.com, sign up, go to Organise to get your feed set up.
Yep.
And if you can, get yourself on Google Ads ASAP so you can figure out what is actually working and what isn't working. And then that way you'll be able to spend money on things that are working and are going to get you an ROI.
Yep.
And then you can get a free listing for things that may
before the bun fight begins, you know?
Exactly. Because, I mean, the earlier that you adopt...
You spend $1,000 now on getting things set up and moving. Aha, phone's ringing. Is your phone ringing at your end?
Yeah.
Victoria's going to get it. Perfect. I've got to work out how to turn that off.
I've taken it off my computer now.
Away. There we go. Damn it. Okay, so
well, it doesn't come up across the screen.
Yeah, good. All right. So what do we need to? We've got to summarize.
Yep. So, well, summarize basically. Google is creating. Oh, yep.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Yeah. So the main thing that we've got to do is, our recommendation is that people get in and spend a bit of money on Google Merchant Center now, so that they work out and get all the tracking set up so they know what works.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Wholeheartedly. So get the tracking set up.
And then when it's all free,
mm-hmm.
Then when it's all free, you can focus in on just what works, and you know, maybe put all the stuff that doesn't work in the free bucket with everybody else.
Yep.
But when all the bun fight happens, when everybody else is running around trying to you know, just get a benefit from whatever's free, they're not going to get clear data on what is and isn't working.
Yeah.
They can, but, you know, it's going to be more hit and miss when the competition goes, you know, 100-fold.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.